Hey guys, me again. You know who I am. And today, this is going to be one of those videos where I just talk. I might make this into a mini series where I just talk about solutions I have to some of Warframe's problems. Don't worry, the Challenge Me series is coming back. It just takes forever and a half to fucking film those, so yeah, stay tuned for that. Anyways, I've been thinking about this for a while. Since Damage 2.0 is coming, I've been worried about the viability of some weapons. Like, for example, impact shotguns are going to become absolutely fucking useless because of how bad the ragdoll effect is, and you're going to be pushing the enemy out of your own effective range. Stupid. Now, you're probably wondering why I even bother to make this video, and the reason I'm making this video is because there are so many other things that need to be addressed first before we change up physical damage types. Like, you know, armor and beam weapons, which I'm going to be talking in this video. I think stealth needs to be addressed, more specifically stealth finishers. And why is there not double or triple takedowns yet? I definitely think that mandatory damage mods need to be also addressed before we roll this out. Though that's probably going to be coming with a 3.0 or something like that along those lines. I think that because those sort of affect the way, like, if you are able to even do damage or not, right? And I think that build should be more of a playstyle thing rather than a, hey, I need this to kill anything and everything in the game. And I think that's kind of silly. It's unique, but it's silly, and I don't like it. It feels weird. And now that we have two more mandatory damage mods, that being Auger Pact for pistols and Vigilant Armaments for primary weapons, it's getting even harder to show off how unique it is. In fact, I've been able to boil builds down to 4 simple formulas, and I feel like I shouldn't even be able to do that. Like, why am I able to basically simplify builds down to formulas? Like, why is that a thing? Right? I even like... It's nuts, and that's why I think those should be addressed before the elements are looked at. But I know you guys are trying to roll out Korra, so I sort of understand. But I think you should try Korra. The community should be able to try Korra before the changes and after the changes to see, hey, this made a noticeable difference, or hey, this didn't really matter a whole lot. But first, let's start with armor. So I have a solution for armor. Now, the way I'd have it is, so the amount of armor an enemy has cannot exceed their own health value. Now you're probably wondering, how would I make the beefy units beefier, you know, the heavy units heavier? And, you know, what I would do is basically I would give them more health. And doing this, I mean, it's sort of already in the game in terms of the enemy ships in the plains and even the terror lists. It makes me mindful of what elements I use based on the type of armor instead of the sheer amount of armor. So I won't be running corrosive heat or corrosive blasts or corrosive with a slash-based weapon all the time. Probably would just be simpler to flip the armor and the health values. So let's take our Bombard for example. So the Bombard at base level 4 has 500 alloy armor and 300 clone flesh. It would just be easier to swap the two, so we have 500 health and 300 armor, which, believe it or not, that makes a big difference, whether it looks insignificant or not, because armor is a % damage reduction, and I believe that should be changed too. I just haven't figured out a way that we could change armor to make it effective for both the players and the enemies. And even if that's still too much, what we could do is just half the armor value from there and double the health value. I think that would definitely make the enemy a bit beefier. I mean, there are counters to armor. It's just that they're not enough compared to, say, shields, because shields are such a non-factor. Like, shields can be reduced by shooting at them. But armor, I have to have an element or 2 elements, actually, because slash, it completely ignores armor, and then corrosive takes it away. I have to have either those two, or I have to have a mod, which would be Shattering Impact for melee weapons, to even deal with armor properly and for it to not be such as a problem. I was also sort of thinking that maybe it would only apply to missions like around that start around level 40 and higher, and endless missions, but I think it would just be easier just to apply it to all the enemies in the game that have armor. Now for beam weapons, say like the Flux Rifle or the Phage, I think it would be a good idea to give them continuous damage bonus. There's two ways you can implement this. Now, the way I was thinking at first was basically give them a damage percentage that would scale similar to Riven Disposition, so the Emperor X would not have as high as a continuous damage bonus as, say, the Flux Rifle. Keep them balanced, and the bonus will work like that. So the longer you hit a target, the more damage you deal, up to a % cap. And this would reward the players for staying on target and having good tracking. Is I know like DE likes to be unique with the way they implement things, especially fixes. So another way you could implement this is just give the beam rifles a combo counter. And that would be an even easier fix to do that, except instead of punishing them for missing or taking away combo for missing, what they do, it would slowly drain down when you're not actually hitting a target, right? So if you're out of combat or you're not shooting anything, it would just slowly ramp down, right? It would ramp down slightly faster than the sniper rifles combo counter, but not as fast as melee combo counter without combo duration, essentially. So something around those lines. Now this has sort of been implemented into other games, other popular games like Borderlands and Destiny 2, Back to the Garbage. But in those games, players aren't exactly rewarded for accuracy as much because in Destiny 2, they don't beam rifles, or trace rifles they call them, don't have headshot multiplier, so they can't just get extra damage by shooting at the head. And as soon as you get off target, you lose all of your damage bonus in Destiny, so that kind of sucks. But I guess that's sort of fair because that thing has a lot of ammo. Now in Borderlands, the pre-sequel in particular, Borderlands has this bullshit ass character. Now the thing with beam weapons in Borderlands is they have really crazy recoil patterns, so they're already hard to control. So Nisha sort of complements those beam weapons very well and makes them, stay on target, being an actual fucking laser beam instead of giving them insane recoil that drags all side to side. So that way she could sort of implement beam rifles into a build of hers. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys for watching. Those are just some of my thoughts on armor scaling and beam weapons, because I've been thinking about this while I've been leveling my flux rifle. I bought a flux rifle Riven just to see if I could make it hunting munitions viable, and I've made it so that it's comparable to the Emperor X. It kills in a similar amount of time and a similar amount of shots. It's just that it's not better. It's not really worse, but it's really hard to notice, but it's similar. Anyways, that's all for me. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.